How's a win? Okay, I was talking.
I can't clap.
Fuck, I was talking over that.
Okay, one more time.
What was you kind of lying to Lexi's fucking straight?
Too bad I've been sticking on your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand it how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night?
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Us Talking. Today's a bonus episode.
Yay!
This was recorded at the beginning of the bonus episode.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
I'm here, your host, Finnegan Tuig, and my co-host.
TJ Parrish.
And today we have two very special guests, Lexi
Hi.
and
I'm
Zane.
autistic.
We'll still have an episode posted Friday, but enjoy this week's bonus episode.
I predict that we will talk about Formula One racing.
I love
Whoa.
Formula One.
Yeah.
Was TJ in Portuguese with us?
I was.
Oh, yeah.
Were you in middle school with us? In Portuguese you were. We did
Yeah.
videos together.
Yeah.
I
elementary
have
school.
a video of you from middle school when the fire alarm went off and I went, "We're all gonna die. How do you feel?"
I hate that you still
And
have
then you
that.
went, "I'm sad."
What?
Depressed.
And then you just started buzzing it down. You're just like, "Bah, bah, bah."
Oh, I was feeling it. I was feeling
That alarm was going off and you just
You saw me be sad and you're like, oh, yeah.
start thank you it.
starts.
That sounds sick.
Yeah. Do you remember Puiul Piu?
Puiul Piu, yeah.
Yeah, the whatever.
Yeah.
Is it in Portuguese? Does
It was in
anyone know?
Spanish.
Was that just a bird?
Yeah, it was just like the little bird that got run over by the car or whatever.
Yeah.
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 Remember that?
It's a music video. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to.
I don't want to explain that.
Yeah, it's just Puiul Piu. Yeah.
I remember
That's
like
for you to find out.
the basically what was South Park, but in Brazil or not Brazil.
Turma da Mônica.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That
But it
was.
wasn't South Park.
It was like a kid's version of
Well, it
South
was
Park.
like animated in the same
It
way.
was like
Not
a
that
kid
good.
show. It was not that good.
So it sounds like TJ has some articles for us.
Ah,
Yeah.
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 So here's something interesting. As I was,
Sorry.
you're making fun of me.
No.
It's fine if you are, but
It's me specifically. I'm the only one.
so I found an.
It's the group.
It's the group
The
again.
group. You gotta do the little sound after it.
Group.
Yeah.
The sound you can't do with too much croup. Okay.
So recently, down in the Netherlands, they've had like this issue with certain rivers and stuff passing through cities, where fish can't get through due to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they have certain gates that the fish can pass through, but there's people there that have to open it up, and they're not always there within those periods of time that like a ton of fish show up to travel upriver to go to start spawning.
Mm-hmm.
So recently there's been like Twitch streams of people who can send or that's not Twitch, sorry, it's like a website specifically, but it's basically just a Twitch stream of like an underwater camera, and when fish shows up and
When fish show up.
people will start like sending notifications that will like ring a bell of sorts, letting the person know on the outside to open the door for the fish to come through.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I don't remember the exact reason why they can't leave the door open like all the time, but anyway, there was a particular reason that they needed the doors. So
I like how
fish
that's
doorbells,
like
guys. Fish
it's
doorbells.
like it's like their version of knocking.
Yeah.
Where they're like, "I'm here. Hello."
So
Hello.
me and TJ have adjoined notes for the podcast, and I've seen fish doorbell on it for so long, and I didn't know what it was, and I kept forgetting to bring it up. Oh, I feel like there's like another piece of my soul has like joined my body.
So,
You feel
have you seen any
Yeah.
of those ones? I don't know. Any of these other ones that
Well,
I've made that you want to talk about?
Well, like
They're all kinda-
fish
they're kinda
doorbell was just at the bottom, so I'd see it like whenever I edited or something. Yeah. Okay.
doorbells.
I feel
I
better
think that's
now.
a great idea, especially
fish
for, like
doorbells.
since it's like you get public interest in like what you're doing.
That's a really good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Because
It
there's
could
things
probably
like
help
fish
it.
ladders, but those are
Yeah.
just very passive things that are for
Yeah.
salmon in the first place. But like,
could probably help with like. Do you have to like pay to make it be like, we're here?
no, you just
No?
push a button.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that
Oh,
idea.
that's way cool.
That's really cute.
Gives more public interest into environmental things.
And then
fish.
going into the more morbid side of things.
Oh, awesome. I've seen too high.
The vibe is too high. Let me bring it down.
Yeah, let's really like it. Let's check this.
So somebody's Instagram, Corvid Research, was recently trying to do a project on if crows could remember faces.
Oh.
And so I don't know, like the conclusion they came to on like how to test for this was really interesting because they took a person and wore masks to keep the same face consistent, right? Because they like the people they had like were never consistent in general, like the technicians they had, so they had to wear masks that were based off of real people's faces to keep that part of the study consistent. And would walk out in the middle of a field with a dead crow. And, like, this is... so... this was, like, their attempts to see... And, like, they would just, like, observe and watch how the crows reacted. And then they would do it again with the same mask to observe and see if they did the same thing.
Yeah.
And this is, like, their observation of if a crow could remember a face.
Mm-hmm.
To some extent.
So the dead crow was like a warning to the other crows?
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah,
or
but
it was
what
like
it was is
you're
it was
supposed
the
to hate me
the
thing?
dead crow
Yeah.
was to kind of symbolize as something like a bad.
That is
Okay,
bad.
that's what I thought. I thought it was like a
because
warning.
they're trying to
like
understand
a threat.
if I guess what the Instagram account Corvid Research and whoever was a part of the research project was trying to understand is if crows could create like a correlation between like things within their environment that were dangerous, like that said faces, like that mask face. So
Did the
That
person
is
also wear
interesting.
like a straw hat and a button-up
They're
flannel?
scarecrow.
And they have to fill their chest with straw.
That'd probably be less suspicious because they
you-
did mention they got called on the cops a lot for
Oh.
wearing masks and carrying a dead crow around.
Like,
That makes me feel better though.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to
Yeah.
know civilians care.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Do you think if they did that with like a certain smell that they could like determine whether or not it was
Can
dangerous?
birds smell?
possibly.
Can birds?
They
I
have
don't know
They
if
have
noses.
noses,
do
yeah.
have
So I
noses,
was
but I
kind of
don't know
like, if they can like,
If they, I don't think they can smell the same way we do, but definitely can smell.
don't they have like a?
That's
Is
a
there
good
like a
question because I don't
pheromone
know.
thing or something where it's like
Mm.
you can
Yeah.
maybe figure it out? I don't know. This
Frisky.
sounds
Yeah.
like a dumb question. I'm saying, but like I don't know. I just
I
work
mean,
here.
no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
just it's
I
interesting.
can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are greasy sometimes.
They are.
What?
It's greasy.
I'm thinking about that mask, and do you guys like remember when there was killer clowns?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We talked about
In
this a
2016.
few episodes
You guys
ago.
talked about
And
this
yeah,
already?
Really?
so we
Really?
mentioned the whole killer like the scare of killer
Was that
clowns
all, like,
in
fake?
elementary
2016,
school.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
2016.
yeah, wait, was it
Was it
fake?
like a hoax?
I think it was
I think
fake.
there
I
was,
don't remember
like-
seeing anything on
I
it.
think
so.
it was fake at the start, and like a
And
lot
then,
of
like,
people were
people
like in on the
thought-
joke, and then people were like,
Copying
"Let's
it.
actually do this."
Let's
yeah.
go and kill a kid.
Yeah, but not like kill kids to just scare,
Yeah.
scare the
Just-
shit out of them.
to
which
scare kids by
not funny,
dressing up
but,
as
like,
clowns.
It's
It's kind of
it's a little
funny.
funny.
It's a little funny.
Yeah, like, looking back on it, it's like
It's a
I would
little
do the
funny,
same.
but it's also like, why would you be bad at school? Like, chill.
Yeah, okay.
What's the next topic?
Yeah.
I didn't have it. I'm sorry.
I
you're fine,
am
you're fine, it's
working on that game.
Oh, yeah, your little
actually?
game with
Yeah,
the
I
cat.
worked
Developing a
on
game.
it.
How is
Yeah,
it?
it is okay. I'm happy with it because the first game I made just to get like basic movement took a month, and then but this I did in like 3 hours, and I'm
That's
like
much better.
much better,
There you go.
and it's working, and it's cool, and it's
That's
fun.
nice. That's
What is it
awesome.
called?
I don't know.
Schrodinger's
So
cat.
is the project in Godot is called Schrodinger's Cat Game,
Oh,
Nice.
so
but it's right now all it is a little puzzle with like squares, and you can move around, and different colors do different things. But
have you got
That's
the
cool.
like interacting with the colors?
Yeah.
Program. Wow, that's
yeah, the
great.
only I'm having trouble with one, which is I want to add a box that when you move into the box like moves to the next square, and then whatever square was there trades with the box. And then I think that could make a lot of interesting puzzles. And I coded everything for it. It works all perfectly. And like I can test the logic, and it's like, this is box, this is yellow, swap, this is yellow, this is box, and the game knows it.
Okay.
And the colors, I cannot get the colors to swap. The colors will not swap.
I want.
The colors won't swap, no matter what I do.
I feel like
They
we
tried.
shouldn't dive too deep into this because like who actually listens to this podcast to learn things.
Yeah.
But why does that happen in code sometimes? Because I'd have it where it's like, it works, it like everything is right, and then it just doesn't.
Yeah. No, literally, it's actually insane. I'm pretty much saying this block, set the color of this block to the color of this block. And you can print what it thinks the color of the block is in the code, and it will tell you what it thinks the color is. And I print it before, it's the color of the first block. And then I print it after, it's the color of the second block. But it just doesn't change visually. But the game even thinks that the colors are swapping. It's just so weird.
Why does that
weird.
happen?
Yeah,
though?
I don't know why it's
strange.
swapping. But
Because
I think you're gonna have to like animate it then.
I have no idea.
yeah, my workarounds were always like make the code literally just worse. Like, like just make another loop inside, and then it's like, oh,
Now I get it.
Yeah, well, anyway.
I don't know.
I have a thingy. So
Well,
volleyball. They've recently added a new rule where you can make a double contact. So like the official board that like does the sports and stuff. So commonly in volleyball, when you're like either setting a ball or you're just trying to tip or like hit it over, if you hit it twice with both of your hands, that's called a double contact, and you can't do that at all. But recently, I don't know what the like name of the like the sports people is, but they made it now that in women's volleyball you can make a double contact because it's odd because it's because of the like confusion of trying to determine whether or not something was a double contact. So they're like, let's just like make it a rule that you can.
Wait,
so
was
I
a
was,
double contact like I hit it here and then I hit it here, or is it like I hit it here and then like this hand comes over?
yes, like that. Except it mostly happens with setting when you're like just trying to like set the
But
ball
like for
for
it to
someone
be
to
a
hit.
double contact and not instantly a foul, both hands have to like touch it at the same time.
Yes.
That's
Well,
kind of cool.
I don't know for double contact actually. Like commonly, both your hands have to touch it.
So
if
could
you
you do
are.
some bullshit where you go like this and then like
Okay, that is what I'm wondering. Like,
Hit it up
I
with your
was
fist and then
wondering
hit
with the
forward with
double
your other hand.
contact rule, would it be like, could your libero or something hit it up and then hit it again?
That's a workaround.
But I
though.
don't-
you'd have to touch it the whole time. though,
Yeah,
I
you'd
think.
have. I feel like you'd have to have contact with it twice, but like, how consistent does it have to be when
Mhm.
you're coming to the double contact rule? But I feel like it's mostly just for setters and stuff because like when you're setting the ball, sometimes the ball will just spin because you accidentally hit it twice. That's why people call a lot of doubles. That's when like a ref will hold up a 2 and just like shake their hand. Because it's like spinning and it's out of control.
Peace.
Because it's spinning and it's out of control, and then they're like, that's a double contact because
Okay.
your hands hit it at 2 different points. That's why it's spinning so much. But I think it's just so you can be like, boop, boop, instead of just like consistent all the time. I don't know how I feel about it though, because I worked 10 years for the amount of skill I have just for it to get shot out the window.
But now you could control it and make it spin on purpose, I feel
You
like.
could, but I don't know if it's like it has to be blatantly obvious you're double contacting it, or if it's just like a if I fuck up this set and only hit it with one hand, can I just like tap it again to make it stop spinning? That was a dumb thing to bring up. I think.
Well, no, I think it's cool.
Okay.
Is this like legislation within the national
Yeah,
volleyball leagues?
yeah.
Okay.
And then I think they did a thing where you can put a double libero in as well. A libero is the person with like the different colored jersey on that like only stays in the background to pass. I think there's a thing now where you can like put 2 liberos in
making
instead of having a
changes.
That's
singular
kind of
one.
cool. I don't know. I really like legislation. I think it's really fun to look into it, and it's not the most interesting podcast topic ever. But like it's really fun for me. So it's kind of like a side project, I guess. But it's just cool
Yeah.
to like read the language and kind of try and find like I guess loopholes throughout certain things.
Now, so I'm kind of like, why wait this long?
I don't know, I
Yeah,
think
that
it's
is
cool.
something.
It's cool that like the sport's still evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it doesn't evolve, then it just becomes stale.
Good point.
How old is volleyball as a sport?
It's really old. It used to just be only a men's sport, which I think is interesting. And they did have like a lot of things that they changed like immediately with just like women being allowed into sports and stuff, and like just like with their thing about like sports evolving and stuff. When it went from being a man's sport, like people were like hitting on the net and like everything, and they changed just like a bunch of things, so it's a lot more fun for regular individuals to play instead of athletes.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because I rock climb and I do it competitively, and this rock climbing as a sport is like 100 years old, and then competitive climbing is like 20 years old. So it's like my competitions have changed so much since I started. Like the whole structure has changed, so it's like not a big deal if they change like a little thing to me because it happens every year. So it's just interesting to see a different sport where that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think now that you bring up that like sports are constantly evolving in order to like make it a lot more fun, it makes a lot more sense to why it's changing and stuff. That's a good take on it.
While we were speaking of niche shit,
Niche?
in Smash Bros. In competitive Smash Bros. But the last character out of the game was Minecraft Steve.
I remember that. You're not allowed to play him for
And in competitive tournaments, they've
sports,
recently been banning him from tournaments.
Yeah,
Why?
because he's so
He's
goated.
really
He's like,
good.
yeah, he can like
he has
build and stuff.
There's like really hard techniques that make it so you just will not take knockback and
Yeah.
you cannot die.
Damn.
And it's just like, I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Goated character.
My friend was talking about that. I don't know because we can't say names. But he was like, I wanted to play as like Steve in these, but they like specifically told me I cannot because they banned it from my tournaments
That's
and
awesome.
stuff. Yeah.
Dang.
So like that, I thought
That
was
makes me happy.
interesting.
The
Yeah.
fall of any Steve player makes me joyous.
Who do you play in Smash Bros?
I don't know. I think
You don't
whoever's fun.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't really ever played Smash Bros, but I saw a little clip of a tournament. It's like
Insane.
it's weirdly impressive.
Yeah.
Because
It's way
I
cool.
think it was the one I saw was like speedrunning takedowns or something. It took like 2 seconds,
Yeah.
and they were like it was incredible.
It's insane.
TJ
That's
seems
it.
to have something on his phone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I think we were talking about like I guess niche sport like things that were going on. So
Volleyball is a niche
We're
sport
going
that
full
no one
circle.
knows.
okay, well like volleyball, Smash Bros, and then climbing, right?
Yeah, well,
and so
no, we didn't talk that much about climbing. I feel like this is unfair, and I should be allowed to talk about climbing more.
okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
This is my
Okay.
podcast.
Yeah.
I can do
keep
whatever I
going.
want.
I was like, there's no.
It'd be awesome if they would cut everyone else out.
I'm an avid fan for Formula One and most races. So
Formula One.
you watch Formula One too? Okay, so you might have heard about this news already, but there is a Saudi Arabian track concept idea that's being kind of put into practice. They're thinking about building it. I mean, they're Saudi Arabians. They love gloating about the fact that they can build this extravagant stuff because they own just a shit ton of money. And so one thing in particular they want to change about their recent Saudi Arabian Grand Prix track for Formula One is build a ramp for the car.
Wait,
It's
so
not-
they're
okay,
trying to like
this-
Hot Wheels them and just
basically they're turning it into Rainbow Road. So what they're doing
Oh my goodness.
is this.
Oh, that's
elevated?
so cool.
It's a 3-story elevated track.
I would
But-
know.
Off of-
That's literally the worst
some reason
idea I've
they go
ever
off the
heard
track
for like
off of
actual.
the-
Actually, off
No
of
one's getting
turn
picked up by a
1.
cloud.
So it's off of turn 1, and in most Formula One tracks, turn 1 is is you're coming in as fast as you can throughout the entire length of the track. That's usually the fastest straight throughout most Formula One tracks.
That's
So
awesome.
you're going
Also,
in
how
as
are they
fast as the cars can
Yeah.
up a hill.
That was such a bad idea.
But it's like a 90-degree corner. And so, but
Yeah.
the funny thing is some cars, and they're making jokes about this all over on social media, some cars have issues with brake failures.
yeah.
So they're making jokes about one particular Formula One driver just absolutely sending it off the other end.
I have
wait, do you remember? Wait, is it the guy that drives the pink car that I can't remember his name?
He's a Ferrari driver.
Oh, wait, it's
Charles Leclerc for Ferrari.
really?
They're making jokes about his car and the fact that he'll just go flying off the
So-
edge.
Yeah, that's the one that's bad. Sorry, never mind.
No,
I
no,
should
you're
not have
fine.
said that.
barriers in Formula One. Just like if I don't know much about it, but like physics, it's either the car breaks the barrier or the barrier breaks the car. Because like if you
The
have
barrier
like,
most likely breaks the car because theirs like is fragile as a cardboard
Oh,
box.
yeah.
Yeah, but like I think they have like hay bales, like things that like take impact.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so they have tire walls. They have hay bales aren't used as often as they were back in like the 60s.
Oh,
yeah.
But that was more for like endurance racing was hay bales.
Mm-hmm.
But they do use like old tires for tire walls. And then they just cover that with like I guess plastic or whatever. And then sometimes, especially off track, there are certain sections of the track that are actually more like they have more of an abrasion to slow the car down as much as possible. And this Saudi Arabian track, at least from like an overhead perspective, this concept idea has a huge off track, like very highly abrasive section, probably to prevent this if a car was sliding off. But it's just a weird idea, and I don't necessarily agree with it. But it'd be cool.
I have a better idea.
I think the concept is it's like this will get more people to watch it because it's like Mario, but also like I'm thinking about like you know how like in just like Formula 1 and stuff like how you like figure out what position you're in based on your cars, like you do the testing at the beginning. What if just people just like fly off because they are trying to be the fastest on this track and then they just like die?
It's
funny.
I don't know.
It will get more views.
What if they made laser barriers?
Laser barriers?
Like the barriers on the sides of the track were lasers. And you can see the fucking laser and your car just disintegrates. You and the car just...
That'd be awful.
Yeah.
Or they have one laser, so it just cuts you in
Yeah,
half.
but like you save,
my
but it probably
gosh.
saves like the lives of 10 people below the Rainbow Road track.
Oh, just
would've gotten
remains.
crushed.
If there's people like
Shrapnel?
below that track, what if they have to like basically cage them in?
Well, I'm sure.
Based on like if there was like tires flying, I don't know. Just,
Yeah,
like,
I don't know if
things
this
flying
is like
off of
a
the track.
concept idea to get like views or whatever. But anyway, also, what was your idea, Finnegan?
Oh, I thought that they should just take out the barriers. They should just make Rainbow Road
There's no
Full-
barriers on
See if they
Rainbow
can
Road.
drift.
full commit. Like
Put some little speed bumps.
some jumps, some big boxes that when
Yeah.
you break them, it gives you boosts.
Put a couple turtle shells.
Yeah.
Couple bananas.
I mean, part of me kind of disagrees with the idea of building a 3-story tall, just Rainbow Road
All
section of the
me
track.
disagrees
No, I
with
agree
this.
But at the
It's
same
sick as
time,
shit.
they are also planning on building a roller coaster alongside the track.
That's an okay.
So
That would
That would be sick.
That would be
but, like,
awesome.
That'd
to
be
like
way cool.
to
Like
go
at the
with
same
them.
time, because like I don't know about.
I'm
both
sure
of
they
them going
time
at
it
the
or
same time.
whatever. No, I'm sure that if the cars went I mean, roller coasters are relatively safe.
I think the roller
Relatively.
coaster
If they maintain
slower
it.
than the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good point. But
No,
like,
they would
things
be,
flying
but-
off of like the track and stuff can still hit people in the face.
Yeah, I think
Some
it's
kinda like
that's an
that's
issue.
an
Is like,
issue.
do you want people like up there throwing it, or do you move the roller coaster far enough away people can't just like chuck their phone under
Or
the
just do like a
Wait, can I
Ferris
see that
wheel
image again?
in a distance, far, far away.
the other thing. Oh, and
How-
I think the big thing is there is like this big Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
Wait, is that
wondering-
screens on the outside?
I'm wondering how is this physically
think so.
possible?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I also.
'Cause it's so weird.
So is the whole stadium 3 stories up? Or
Not the whole stadium. It's just the first like 2 corners of the track, and then they head back downhill.
I feel like you should just either do that towards the middle or towards the end instead of
it's basically
at the
just a
beginning.
gimmick. It's just basically just a gimmick of the entire track. It's like
Gimmick
we
that
go
could
uphill
murder
and back
people.
down, and then like it's not a hill, so it's just
Well-
it's man-made ramps
I
around
could-
a track. Not
yes.
actual ramps, but yeah.
I could see them putting it more at the beginning just so the downhill is like more in the middle.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know.
Let me
the-
just speed you. Never mind.
The
perfectly
other
tracked,
thing though
never
is
mind.
like where can people view it?
Yeah.
Because like it's just gonna be up
Screens?
there. Like, well,
Are they
make
just
it-
gonna do
I
like
guess there's
screens and
screens along
stuff?
the side.
So they would have screens, and they'd have helicopters and certain drones. Recently, they've been doing a project with drones. They've built actually one of the fastest drones to record Formula 1 cars,
That's cool.
and they're probably going to test it for this current season.
Yeah.
Because I haven't watched the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, but that happened yesterday.
Mhm.
That happened yesterday. What's today? Like the 10th? So yeah, on the 9th. It happened on the 9th, and it was, they might have filmed it. I don't know.
Who won
But
that?
Max Verstappen.
Okay, that's what I.
This guy is so good.
I do
First
not
race
like
of the
him.
season, he had a 20-second lead on the second driver. And if you think about it, like in the terms of racing, like
That's
8 seconds is a
insane.
long time. You think one car passes by, and then like 1, 2, and then like they're going at like almost like I think they recorded like
200.
It's like 160 or 180 miles an hour.
so almost.
So like 8 seconds is a long time for a car traveling that fast.
Yeah.
And this guy, so, anyway, I can get into this forever, but like I don't want to take up the whole time of the podcast.
We'll go wander around Finnegan's house and find a bathroom. I'll just
But there's one like if you walk down the hall and just
I'm a big
Like 3
Lewis
feet?
Hamilton
like-
fan.
Yeah,
I'm like Lewis Hamilton. Why?
Have you seen that he's moving to Ferrari?
Yes. Okay, I wanted to talk about this because one of my favorite drivers, his name is Carlos, right? He's getting like moved off of Ferrari. He has like some famous little things where he like sang "Smooth Operator" in his car. Where he's like "Smooth Operator," and he's like precious, and like I like him so much. And then like this year he's just like off because Lewis Hamilton's going in. But I'm like I like them both a lot, and I'm happy for Lewis Hamilton. But like Carlos,
I heard a Red Bull might take Carlos, so
yeah, he just doesn't have a
just weird.
place for 2024, and it makes me sad.
so I drive up Canyon a lot. I really want them to do like a Formula One or like some car racing I can
NASCAR?
Street racing.
Yeah.
Street racing?
Because there's
It's
so
illegal,
many
but
turns. There's
it
so
would
many. It's
be
so pretty.
sick.
Oh,
You
but
can
it's
fit a
so-
helicopter.
It's so
Someone
tiny.
should like develop
Oh,
a
boy.
game or like maybe be like, hey Nintendo, you should look at this place for like a next map for
That would be
Mario Kart.
That'd be way cool.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, I want them to do that. I think that'd be super cool. And like,
That'd be
there's
way cool.
pull-offs, so you could
Yeah.
drive up before and then like pull off and watch the race go by.
common
That'd be
thing-
insane.
I would love to see like because they do this thing called they're called hill races, but they're cars that are just absolutely insane, and they
I
go
think
up.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's one that's in Europe, and I don't know what it's called.
It's a doggy. I love doggies.
But he,
Eat me.
Can I
Let
trade
her.
out? Because I also need to just.
Yeah.
I need to go soon. So yeah.
Oh yeah, we should. We've
Just
been
pause.
recording for like so long.
Yeah.
No, we don't
We're
need to
almost at
pause.
30
We'll just keep
minutes.
trading out people.
Okay. Well.
It's very good.
No, go ahead.
Oh my
Go ahead. Take your time too. Go ahead. Don't feel the pressure.
Oh, yo, what's up, dog?
Oh yeah.
Do I just leave the door open?
Yeah. That sounds better.
What were you guys talking about?
Formula One.
And
I've
races.
literally never watched Formula One.
Races are
I have nothing. I know nothing about it.
I
Actually,
know-
nothing. I've watched like 2 movies about racing.
Nice.
Yeah. I
No,
know
I
like
guess-
1%.
That's okay. It's fine. I think it's way fun, and it's been driving me nuts
That's
this
cool.
Formula One season. So it's been cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of drama.
Fast shit is crazy.
It is cool. Yeah. I don't
Anyways, we
know.
could talk more about how horrible social media is and how we're all addicted to our
Yeah.
phones.
Yeah, I say this often, but I think social media is going to be, it's like the new cigarette, where like when cigarettes came out, they're like, kids were just smoking at like 12, and then later we're like, oh, this is actually not good for you. And I think that's
We're gonna
social
learn that
media.
Social media is just that bad.
The other thing is that the problem is that I have so much free time. I'm
And-
like, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah, start a podcast.
Start a podcast.
Yeah.
Look up
Well, actually, I
topics for
already have a
podcasts.
podcast. It's just really bad, and I want to delete it, but I haven't found the time. Even though I have a lot of free time,
It's kind
I
of
just
good.
have
I
to
kind of
do it.
like it.
It's not good. I am telling you, it is not good.
Okay,
it is
cool.
bad.
I gotta
It is bad.
Sorry.
Oh, it's
I'm just gonna
okay.
stand up for a second.
Yeah. I think it's funny at times.
No,
No, not all. Not even. This is exactly what happened with Smash Bros. Club, where I was like, "Oh, should I come?" You're like, "No, stay home.
Just stay
Yeah,
home.
enjoy it."
we should all play Smash Bros. sometime.
That
That'd be
would
way
be a
cool.
fun video.
I'd love that.
I love
Fuck,
Smash Bros.
I might see. That's the problem. You make videos too, so do you have this where like whenever I do something, there's a little part of my brain that's like, this could be a video, or like this could
Yes.
be a photo,
So
all
much.
the time.
Actually, okay, there are times like I forget my camera and I'm like, damn it, I could have.
Yeah, and it's like, it's rough because like, it's like, I don't know. It's just how do I escape it? I need to do it all the time.
The good thing is I don't record
Hi, Smudge.
IRL
No,
videos really. I don't
I'll give
record
you
any
a-
IRL videos, so I don't have that issue in real life. But
That's nice.
I spend a large quantities of time on my
Oh my gosh, are we
computer.
all going to the bathroom right
Yeah,
now?
I'll help TJ's
Oh,
one.
okay. Oh,
But
this one's
but
cool.
like every time I play a game, this could be a video.
Yeah. I think that's hard with gaming too, because like, if you want like a real gaming channel, you have to post like every day.
Yeah, I don't
And-
think gaming works.
No.
No, unless you're genuinely unique in a way, but you aren't.
Yeah.
But you aren't.
Yeah.
Specifically
I-
you.
You ain't.
Honestly,
You're not special.
podcasts are the same way.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
like they're fun to make. That's why I'm
think-
doing this. But like, there's so many.
To get
Yeah.
a successful podcast, you need like one famous person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need that one famous person to get everybody to listen
Or
to it.
you need to be a
once.
true crime podcast.
Or that's true. That's really an
Yeah.
option.
Oh, you
What
actually,
if we made a true crime episode and we
I
all
don't-
like whispered
okay.
and shit?
that would be funny if we had like a camp. Oh, we could do it
Do you
around a
guys
campfire.
like true crime podcasts?
I've never listened to one.
I
Really?
don't like true crime, but I like just a horror
I do, yeah.
podcast.
What podcast? Finnegan, what podcast do you listen to when you're at mat work?
That's a good question. I'm usually 99% invisible, important if true, and sometimes if I'm feeling out there, safety third.
And what are those about?
Safety third is science YouTubers, and they talk about that. Important if true is 3 game developers, and they talk about that. And 99% visible is like actual intellectual shit, and they talk about like agriculture and design of a building called
Architecture.
They talk about architecture.
Wow. I only listen to one podcast and it's just about music. It's just music stuff.
What podcast is
It's
it?
the Dissect podcast and they dissect music.
And TJ listens
is
to a
it?
podcast too.
I do.
What podcast do you like?
What podcast do I like?
We're all plugging other podcasts because this
Yeah.
one blows.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say my hot take on.
I'm listening to 2 different podcasts recently. One is
Us talking.
us talking and 3 podcasts actually. As you guys know, I'm a huge science nerd,
Yeah.
geek, whatever. I listen to Who Did What Now by Kate Sherwood. Kate Sherwood. Anyway, she's just a historian. I don't know if she's herself is a historian, but she talks about a lot of history through the book she's read. I don't know. It's just her. I don't know her bio. Her bio just says things like whoever said history was boring obviously wasn't paying attention. So she just, I guess, tries to make history in a more engaging way. And then 2 science related ones called like 99% Invisible. I listened to that one too.
I literally talked about it while you were out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that one is so
I've
good.
listened
I
to
love that
every
one.
episode.
Really? Every episode? That's
But I've also
impressive.
been listening since like the beginning.
That's like 572 episodes.
Yeah, it is roughly exactly that much.
Yeah.
It's funny sometimes since they have so many episodes, they'll just repost another one or an old one and just repost it, and I know.
You're like, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
it's
You're
like
like,
the
wait
most
a second.
unfortunate thing because like I'll still listen to it because like why not? But I'm like that was from long ago.
And then also things like ologies, which is just Allie Ward goes out, like the podcast host Allie Ward goes out and about and just talks with different specialists in their field, particularly
That sounds
professors.
really cool.
Yeah, no, she's way cool, and like topics she talks about is just so diverse.
Yeah.
It's way
That's
fun.
the one I was looking for because when we like design things for this podcast, we try and like find inspiration from other ones, and ologies comes up a lot. Do you listen to the podcast episodes after they're
I do.
posted? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that was my question.
Our personal podcast, I listen to it all the time.
It's kind of fun. I guess
Now
I
you're
do, but
coughing.
through editing. So I just like listen to it over and over to get the like edits right. So I don't after. I probably will when they're old and I can handle them again. Yeah. Well, that is the end of this
That concludes
podcast.
this episode.
Thanks for listening to the bonus episode of us talking. We post episodes every Friday.